morning on the Syrian border with Turkey, and more fighters arrived to support Liwa al-Tawhid. This large and established brigade managed to broker and hold an uneasy truce between two of the newer opposition armed groups, the Northern Storm Brigade and Al-Qaeda affiliates, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. These are recent pictures of the disputed town of Azaz, already in ruins from attacks by the Syrian Air Force. Now there's a curfew and all filming since fighting began is forbidden. At least 7 people have been killed and the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant is holding many hostages. Azaz is close to the Turkish border town of Kilis, where there's a large Syrian refugee camp. The fighting's trapped many Syrians on the border.
We have been waiting at the Bab el-Salama gate for 3 days to cross back into Syria. We hear the Free Syrian Army and an Islamic group are battling each other, so the border crossing has been closed to traffic.
There's no telling yet when or how this dangerous standoff will end, and in any event, the Al-Qaeda-affiliated groups are not leaving the town. After many tense hours of negotiations and more fighting, a ceasefire deal was reached. The release of all hostages, the return of all property, and the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant to pull back to the other side of Azaz. But so far, these conditions have at best only been partially met. Little on the ground has changed, and both sides have been reinforced by more fighters and more weapons. The field hospital in Azaz, seized by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, is still under the group's control. Sources in Azaz say the Al-Qaeda-affiliated group wanted to capture some of the doctors there, who, despite their work treating injured opposition fighters, were considered spies. What's happened to the medical staff is still not known. The fighting here has paralyzed this vital border crossing. And if the Free Syrian Army loses this territory to an Al-Qaeda-affiliated group, then an organization that Turkey, a NATO member, used to fight against, will become its next-door neighbor. Anita McNaught, Al Jazeera, Antakya.